All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for real people just like you, and just like me. Now, this warms my heart. Number one on the mainstream rock charts, AC/DC's Shot in the Dark. 40 years. I don't even know why I just said that. Because I'm just feeling old when I say 40 years after their groundbreaking, earth-shattering 1980 masterpiece Back in Black, where they were all over FM rock stations. All right, and there wasn't an official mainstream rock chart until 1981, and that chart was basically a response to the overwhelming support of music like AC/DC at the time. I think the song by Eric Clapton, I Can't Stand It, was the very first number one mainstream rock radio song. Now, a lot of commentators have come along in recent years, one I'm thinking of in particular, who opines and laments and wonders, how come You Shook Me All Night Long didn't go to number one? Because it went only over to top 40. That was the only way to measure the song. And top 40 stations weren't playing AC/DC. Okay, they were playing 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton at the time, or Morning Train by Sheena Easton. I can go down the list of songs that were fairly big in 1980. The Pina Colada song by Rupert Holmes. So those were the songs that were on top 40. All right. But then you had these cool rock stations, and I was always listening to those types of stations. Now, mainstream rock today is a joke. It's a complete disaster. Everything kind of sounds the same. Most of it is dark and menacing and they don't embrace anything melodic over there. Now, every so often, something kind of gets through. Dirty Honey was a band from a year or two ago that I couldn't believe. A band that sounded like Aerosmith and the Black Crowes and Led Zeppelin, Guns N' Roses a little bit, and they were they were number one, and they put out an independent EP or just 3 or 4 songs or whatever, and they did that. That was pretty monumental. AC/DC, is one of the few bands that can just keep doing this, and they can actually make an impact on rock radio, where younger listeners will go, hey, I know these guys, because typically those stations will play the older music by AC/DC mixed in with their format. For some reason, AC/DC gets a pass, and I can tell you, I think the reason they get a pass is because they're just so damn good. You just can't ignore. I don't care how old these guys get. Ageism doesn't seem to affect AC/DC. Now, will these songs stay in the formats of these radio stations, what we used to call recurrence? Will this song hang around and become a classic within their format? No, of course not. Because again, image matters more than the music to these people. So what will happen is, they're going to let this song play itself out. And I'm sure there will be other songs, other singles that come out that do very well over at mainstream rock, but then, they'll be retired once the album runs its course. You won't hear them again. You're not hearing music from Black Ice on these radio stations, or the last AC/DC album, which again, there were a couple of songs that did very well for a while. And it's just kind of sad because, again, your variety, what you get on these stations is so limited and so focus tested, but 5 weeks on the chart and this song hits number one. Again, to have a songwriting credit on here from Malcolm Young is super sweet, and the late, great Malcolm Young, he's got a co-write on a number one mainstream rock radio song. So 2020 kind of sucks, but this is a bit of a silver lining. It doesn't make up for the entire year, but it is sweet to see these guys at the top of the charts. Well done, boys. Not only that, they're on a major label. And the major label obviously has pushed these guys out there with a great video, which I think has 10 million views on it now. And that doesn't count the lyric video that's out there. It doesn't count the just regular song that was posted to YouTube, which I think had over 1 million views. So good for these guys. Brendan OBrien, great producer on this record, and has been working with the band since the Black Ice album. Maybe even before that. I'd have to check into that. But these guys are in a groove, and I'm hoping they stay there. And I can't wait to hear the full album when it drops. So there you have it. Good news? Yes, absolutely. Kind of goes in the face of the corporate masters over at radio. They just can't keep this band down. So congrats to AC/DC. Thanks for watching, and keep watching, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back soon.